doubt, like I was trying to understand. Usually, when you have such good track in your academics and you have got IT experience too, of course, it may be 1 year or 1 year, few months. Why you suddenly change your mind? Why you make up your mind for PSUs strictly?
My parents only told me that no, you have such a great passion for PSU. It was just we pressurized you at that time that you had to sacrifice your dream of working in ISRO or working in BRC. So if this has come, you should go. So at that time I was like, okay.
You are saying the limitation of finite automata, it cannot move back.
Yes, sir.
Can a push down automata can move back?
Hello, Trisha.
Hello, sir.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good, sir.
Great, Trisha. Myself, Satyanarayana, and we have respected faculty, Venkatrao sir with us.
Yes, sir. I'm extremely sorry, sir, because of some technical difficulties. It took me some time to join this session.
That's okay. That's fine. So, Trisha.
Venkatrao, Faculty of Computer Science.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing?
Yes, sir, I'm good. I'm doing good, sir.
So, Trisha, you're feeling comfortable?
Yes, sir, I'm good.
Great. Trisha, I was just going through your profile.
Yes.
And the profile was very impressive. You have good academic track with all 9 above CGPA.
Yes, sir.
Great. And currently you are working with?
Sir, I was working in IBM, but recently I have resigned my job also because I wanted to focus entirely on, I just wanted to give my some time to this, to the government sector jobs like ISRO, BRC, everything. So,
okay.
Therefore.
Okay. So, apart from ISRO, have you appeared for any other PSU?
Yes, sir. I appeared for BARC. I have cleared the written exam also, and I'm actually preparing for my interviews on 30th May.
Great.
So I was actually preparing for that also. Other than that, sir, I have cleared NILET also. NILET in the
NIC.
Yes,
NIC.
sir, NIC. The third one, the result has come. The first and second, I think NILET Scientist B, and the second one, the second course.
STA.
Yes, sir. I've cleared STA, but the first two results are still pending. So I don't know whether I will be able to clear that or not, but I have cleared STA.
Good, very good. Great to hear all this. So just a simple doubt, like I was trying to understand. Usually when you have such good track in your academics and you have got IT experience too, of course, it may be 1 year or 1 year, few months. Why you suddenly change your mind? Why you make up your mind for PSUs strictly?
Sir, actually, I was already I was preparing for PSUs from a long time. I actually gave the NIC test, NIC exam of 2020 also, but I could not crack that at that time. So, and at that point of my time, my parents also they pressurized me that no, you should do some jobs. So at that time, this IT job came in my hand, and I went over there. So it's not that I have not done that sincerely. I have done that sincerely as well. I have an IT experience of 2 years and 3 months. So I did that job also. But then when ISRO came, and I actually did not want to come back in the PSUs. I was thinking, no, I will go do here only. But then when ISRO came, because I have never given ISRO, so at that time my parents only told me that no, you have such a great passion for PSU. It was just we pressurized you at that time that you had to sacrifice your dream of working in ISRO or working in BRC. So if this has come, you should go. So at that time I was like, okay, let me give some time to this ISRO, and then let me see if I can crack it. But it took I think long time than what I had imagined. So when I left my job when ISRO came, because I was extremely passionate about ISRO, but then it became so long, and at that time NIC also came. So I had just filled the form, just like randomly I filled the form. So at that time when NIC came, I prepared for NIC also. Then ISRO was also from my NIC preparation only I cracked ISRO also. And because the result was not appearing, so I again appeared for BRC and I cracked BRC also. So this is what happened in the last.
So you are eagerly waiting for ISRO. As a journey, you were giving for NIC, NILIT and BARC.
Yes, sir.
And your ultimate aim is ISRO.
Exactly, sir. My ultimate aim is ISRO. It is just that these exams also came. So I thought that why only target for ISRO? Let me check that how much is my preparation. Let me check that if I can crack this also. It will be a kind of mock for me. So therefore I gave all these exams, and it cleared.
Great, great. That's great to hear, Trisha. When I was going through your profile, I found your expertise on some programming stuff, right? As you have prepared for ISRO as well, I would like to understand on which domain or which area you are comfortable with to go with the technical discussion.
So regarding the means you're asking about data structures, algorithms, all these things.
What would be comfortable for you?
So I'm quite comfortable in data structures and algorithms because I have worked in that also. So therefore, I'm quite comfortable in that area.
Okay, okay. So before we start some technical stuff, like what is your idea, the knowledge that you have gained in data structures or algorithms helps you in when you onboarded in ISRO? How this can help you in your work?
So right now, whenever what I actually right now what my understanding is about ISRO. So when we are preparing for a mission or when we are going for when we are launching a satellite, so at that time some of the data structures might come into some of the things of data structures can come into picture. Recently when Chandrayaan-3, when the satellite went up, so at that time I could see that through the camera, in the television also we could see what some parts they have they have disintegrated. So all these things. So I think artificial intelligence and machine learning, with the help of all these things, we can actually visualize that what is happening, and we can write the codes to actually determine that, and then we can write codes, and then we can whatever data the satellite is sending us, we can analyze the data, and we can count that, we can analyze the data, we can do image processing, we can go use the data structures for analyzing the data, and also maybe that therefore data at that point of the time data structures is important.
Okay, okay. So please help me to understand how much you are exploring the latest technologies, as you named AI or ML or DS or maybe IoT.
So right now I was just preparing for the interviews, which is on 30th May. So I have not explored that much in the field of AI and ML. But if given a chance, I will definitely do it because I have my interest on that. I have I actually purchased a course also to to start preparing. But at that time only BSc result also came. So therefore again I diverted to this preparation.
Because currently you go anywhere, the more opportunities you will find in these technologies or in these domains.
Yes.
So that could be the case even in ISRO also. They might be having the requirement of data analyst or AI engineer, right? So if what I suggest is if you get some idea, at least some basic idea, by the time you go for the interview, I believe that could help you.
Sure, sir.
Okay.
I'll take it, sir.
And would you mind proceeding with some technical discussion?
Yes, sir.
Great, great. So as you said, you were interested in data structures and algorithms.
Yes, sir.
Which data structure you like the most in the implementation wise or in the learning wise, and why?
So I particularly like linked list as a data structure because in implementation wise also we can some of the benefits of linked list can make it has some advantages over the previous over some other data types. For example, it is having the dynamic allocation, so we can just grow, and it can grow and shrink in the size as it likes. The only issue with linked list data structure what I find is that for searching a particular element we have to traverse the entire linked list. Other than that, inserting and deleting wise and this dynamic allocation makes it very flexible. So therefore, I particularly like the linked list as a data structure.
But is it not taking added space to store the reference of the next node or
yes,
next
sir. It is
element?
having some, it is taking space. But if space is not a constraint, then linked list is a good data structure. But if space is a constraint, then it is taking some extra more space. Yeah.
But there is actually the overhead of handling these dangling pointers also in the linked list. How there is a overhead
of dangling
in linked
pointers.
list?
Yes, sir. If not handled properly, so there is a problem of dangling pointers also. But I think when we implement it, then we have to implement it in such a way that this dangling pointer, this problem does not arise.
So it should be handled properly.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Trisha, I'm just trying to understand from you. If I ask you to boil down all the data structures that you know into two categories, it is not linear, non-linear. Okay. So how would you represent? There are only two data structures, not linear, non-linear category.
So you want me to differentiate all the data structures that I know into linear and non-linear?
No.
So
it is not the category of linear, non-linear, but we can actually boil down all the data structures into only two. You look at any data structure, it will have either of two implementations.
Yes, sir.
So what are?
So as you said, it will be linear or non-linear. Like
No implementation.
Static and dynamic allocation and
Any other term you can use for it?
Implementation wise, contiguous and non-contiguous.
Okay, you are close, but you are not taking those names, the actual names, exact names. Array implementation and linked list implementation. You find any data structure, you take stack. You will either implement it using array or linked list or queue. Queue is again should be implemented using array or linked list. Tree, pure linked list implementation.
Yes, sir.
Graph, pure linked list implementation. Price, maps. You take any data structure, you can actually boil them down into only two implementations, either array or
linked list.
Linked list.
Yes, sir.
All right, fine. So if I put a query in front of you about priority queue, how does it differ from the regular queues? Normal simple queue you take or circular queue you take. How does it differ? So Trisha, priority queue we are talking about. Please
yes,
go
sir.
ahead.
I was saying about the priority queue. So priority queue differs from the queue or circular queue in the way that we are storing the elements according to some priority. Like if the priority of a particular element is first, then we are storing it in the first place. If it is a little bit less priority, then we are taking it to the later end. So in this way, the priority queue is implemented. It is implemented in such a way so that whenever we delete it, we will always take the whenever we dequeue it, so we will always take the first element which is having the highest priority.
So it can be performed in constant time.
Yes, sir.
So that is the motto behind priority queue implementation, isn't it?
So the motto behind this implementation is that whenever we dequeue it, so it will be in a constant amount of time, and we are actually taking it priority wise.
Okay, fine, great. So I am trying to understand in trees. We have a category of complete binary tree and almost complete binary. Is there any difference?
Yes, sir, there is a difference. In the complete binary tree or full binary tree, what we can say is every node can have two children, but in almost complete binary tree, what we can have is the last level. It need not be completely full. Like the parent can have either a left, the parent can have a left child. Like the second most level, the parent can have a left child, but if it is having a right child, then it must have a left child, like that. And all the levels above that should be completely full.
Okay, so full binary tree and complete binary tree are same.
No, so they are different. Means I'm actually not able to explain it properly. What happens is that in the second last level, what we can have is we can have a node which is having either two children, or it can have a right child only if it has a left child. We cannot have just a right child without having a left child. So like that.
That is complete or almost complete?
Almost complete.
Then what is complete binary tree?
It will have either two children or no children, like that.
That is full binary tree.
So sorry. In the complete binary tree, it must have two children. Like every level must be complete. Every level must be full.
Sure.
Yes.
Then we have a saying, every complete binary tree is almost complete, but not vice versa.
Yes, sir.
Did you ever heard this statement?
Yes, sir, I've heard this statement.
Then how every complete binary tree can be almost complete? In almost complete, it can have either only left child or both children.
No, sir. In the almost complete binary tree, either it can have a left child or it can have both the children.
So how it can be true then? How a complete binary tree can be almost complete when it must have two children?
Must have two children. So
see, whatever the definition you have given, must have two children or no children, that is for full binary.
Full binary tree.
In the complete binary tree, the last level may be filled or may not be filled.
May not be filled. Yes.
But in almost complete, it must not be filled.
Yes, sir.
It must not be filled.
Okay,
there is no option of complete filling the last level. But in CBT, it may be full or may not be.
May not be full.
Okay, please maintain that distinction. Be a little clear about it, because just these are all very basics, of course.
Yes, sir.
Just I am trying to understand how much you are good at, because you are working professional. So I'm trying to understand whether you are dislocated. I mean, distracted from the subject, or you are still in touch with the subject or not.
Okay, sir.
Fine, fine. So I'd like to hand over this conversation to Venkatrao sir. Sir will proceed with algorithms.
Okay, sir.
Sir, over to you.
Hello, Trisha.
Hello, sir.
Before going to start our actual technical discussion, Trisha, every computer science student generally having some of their favorite subjects. They are inclined towards some subjects as interesting subjects. So may I know what are your favorite subjects in computer science?
So, I have a particular interest in data structure and algorithms. Other than that, I like operating systems, and TOC TOC is one of my favorite subjects.
The theory of computation.
Yes, sir.
TOC means okay. Can we continue our discussion on theory of computation? So, what is a finite automata, Trisha? What is the general meaning of finite automata?
So in the finite automata, we have we have a start state, and then we have some states through which the it is actually basically used as a language acceptor or a rejector. If the language belongs to a particular grammar, then it can either accept it or reject it. So for that, we use the finite automata.
Okay. Can we use finite automata as a output producer?
So Mealy and Murray can be used as an output producer, but finite automata, it is basically for a language selecting. So
both are there. In finite automata, you mean both are there.
Yes,
as an acceptor as well as an output generator. Now, if you say finite automata as an acceptor, so can we construct a finite automata for an infinite language?
So if for an infinite language, if it is following a pattern, then we can accept it. For example, if we are making a finite automata such that any string which will and we want to accept any string which is ending in 0, 1, so we can make an automata on that. Like any number of strings, infinite number of strings can be there which are ending with 0, 1, so we can make a finite automata on that.
So you are saying it is possible to construct finite automata even if the language is infinite.
So if the language is infinite but it is following some pattern, we can create a finite automata.
What can you explain me what is the exact difference between a deterministic finite automata and non-deterministic finite automata?
So deterministic finite automata, it is for every particular state, it will have a transition for all the particular input symbols. But in NFA, it is not mandatory. Like any state can have a transition for a particular input, or it cannot have a transition for a particular input. Second thing is that in DFA there is no epsilon transaction. In epsilon transactions are not there, but in NFA epsilon transactions can be present.
So what do you mean by dead state or trap state generally?
So dead state or a trap state is that state from which we cannot come back. For example, I'm saying that the starting symbol have to be 0, but if the starting symbol comes 1, so anything after that will not make any sense. So it will go to a dead state. So any symbol which is following that symbol will continue to be in that particular state only. It will not contribute anything to the finite automata.
Is it allowed to have a trap state in or dead state in non-deterministic automata?
So where it is not
non-deterministic finite automata.
So can you just repeat the question once again?
Is it possible to have a trap state or dead state in NFA, non-deterministic finite automata?
No, sir, it is not there. It is not present in NFA. We cannot have a transition only from that. If I create an NFA, then I will not create a transition. For example, if I continue with the same example, same thing, that I want to create a finite, I want to accept all the strings which are starting with 1. So if I am having a 0, I will not have a transition for that particular input symbol only. So therefore, it is not required.
But there is a statement actually in theory of computation. Every DFA can be called as NFA. So
yes, sir, it can be called as an NFA.
If it is true, then dead state is allowed in DFA, right? Then why we cannot call it as NFA?
So NFA, in NFA dead states,
is it true? First of all, is it true? Every deterministic finite automata can be called as NFA.
So DFA don't have epsilon transitions also, but NFA does have epsilon transition. So
in that case, NFA cannot be a DFA. Every NFA cannot be DFA. But what about this? Every DFA is a NFA. What about this statement?
I'm actually a bit confused.
Okay,
but
if you are not comfortable, you can say.
No, sir, once again, I'm actually a bit confused regarding this. Every
just
DFA...
use the statement. I am not.
Yes, sir, I got your statement.
Okay, these are actually in the interview time from this topic.
Yes, sir.
The generalized statements are very important in the technical interview. Okay, leave about that question. What you observe, what is the limitation of finite automata?
So the limitation of finite automata is that like it cannot store, it cannot move backwards. Like it can move only in the forward direction, it cannot move backward, first thing. And then it cannot store anything, like it cannot remember anything, any particular symbol whatever it has come across. So these are the two limitations that comes in
So I'm
mind.
generally saying one language, just understand a power n,
Yes sir.
b power n,
Hmm.
equal number of a's and equal number of b's,
Yes sir.
where n value is at most 10.
Okay sir.
Can we construct a finite automata for that?
Yes, sir. Because if n value is equal to 10, then it is finite number of the strings can be made from it. So therefore, it can be considered as a finite automata.
Then also there is a comparison. It is remembering. You are saying you cannot remember anything.
So for infinite language, like for infinite string, I'm saying that.
That's the exact way how to say.
Okay, sir.
Whenever the remembrance part infinite, then finite automata limitation.
Cannot come. Yes, sir.
Is a finite, then it's.
Yes.
You are saying the limitation of finite automata, it cannot move back.
Yes, sir.
Can a push down automata can move back?
I don't think so, sir. The push down automata also cannot move back. It will also move in a forward direction only.
So can you think that is also limitation for push down automata?
Yes, sir. It can be solved with the linear bounded automata and the Turing machine, where it can move in the front and the reverse directions also.
Okay, Trisha, I'm handing over this interview to Satya sir. Satya sir.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good interaction with you, Trisha. I believe all the thing what went is cool.
Yes, sir.
And I believe your profile is your strength. You have a good academic profile and good exposure. So be prepared with some answers for the questions like why specifically ISRO,
Yes, sir.
and why BARC or NIC exams you have appeared, because you might definitely get a question after you leave the job, what were you doing?
Okay, sir.
And what do you know about ISRO?
Yes, sir.
It is not just simply missile launching station.
Yes, 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 sir.
So what exactly happens at ISRO and why the CS engineer required in ISRO, right? All the information is pretty available over Google or in ISRO website also. Please try to have some information about ISRO also. And anybody who inspired you from ISRO, like maybe Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam sir or anybody who inspired you to join ISRO.
Yes,
if at all anybody there, try to have a couple of statements about them.
Yes, sir.
Okay, directly they may not jump into technical part. They will definitely have some general interaction to make you comfortable in the interview panel. So in that time, they may have queries like this about ISRO and about your background, what your father do, and about your family, right? And your screen presence is good, like you are straightforward to the interviewer. That is very good. And whenever you are what I understand is whenever a question is posed, you are immediately going to start the answer, right? And while in the journey, you are thinking of the statements or thinking to recollect.
Yes, sir.
So instead, if you can just have a long breath in that duration, you think like immediately, not starting, just for a few seconds. First, you think what to put in front of them.
Okay, sir.
In the collective manner, like
yes, sir.
you are giving all accurate, may not be accurate, but proper answers only for each and every question. But something like you are roaming around.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So instead, any question you get in your mind, answer you get in your mind, try to put it properly, frame it properly, then you present it so that it would be impressive.
Yes, sir.
Hope you take it positive.
Yes, 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 sir.
And really, I'm inspired. I'm impressed by your presence and your answers.
Yes, sir.
So I wish you all the very best. I really wanted to see you as ISRO scientist.
Thank you, sir.
And once you become ISRO scientist, you should come back to our platform and we should again interact.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
As a scientist, I want you to come back to this kind of
thank
interaction.
You so much, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, all the very best. Yes,
thank
sir. Venkatrav, sir.
All the best, Trisha.
Thank you, sir.
Your technical knowledge is very good.
Thank you, sir.
So only one advice from my side is, so have a good revision before going to the interview.
Okay, sir.
And the other thing is, the next question in the technical round is framed based on your statement. So always careful about the statement what you are saying.
Okay, sir.
So if you are if you are having any confusion in the statement, they will try to trap you by using the next question.
Okay, sir.
Always careful about that. All the
Okay,
best.
thank
have
you,
to
sir.
become a future scientist of ISRO, and
Yeah,
you have to
thank you,
do
sir.
great contribution to India. All the very best.
Thank you, Trisha. Thanks for your time. Thank you, Venkat sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.